How's it going, everyone? So, we are back here at Blue Capital Academy's headquarters, right? And what we're going to touch base on for episode 7, we have one of my students, Marcel, here, and we're going to kind of give him like a whole interview, right? Don't be scared. I might throw a little spicy questions into it.
Bro.
So just hit them as much as you can. So question number 1. What really got like your peak of interest when it came to trading?
So when it came to like piquing my interest, I was just on the Explore page one day on Instagram, and I saw some other random guy, like a day trader, living the life. I was like, damn, this kid's 26, driving. His Lambo was old, but he still had a Lambo, hopping from hotel to hotel, just traveling, doing all this. And I was like, man, that really interests me. But besides that, nothing had quite come of it yet. And then Derek knows this. I was going to start a resale clothing store, man.
Oh, really?
I was going to buy a bunch of Jordans, Yeezy, Supreme stuff and just like resell
all the materialistic things, right?
All those things. And then I was telling it one day to my coworker's boyfriend, Josh. And then I said, I'm trying to do this, start a clothing store, like all this. And I was like, but I'm also kind of interested in like cryptocurrencies and like trading this and all this. And he's like, my man. He's like, it just so happens I am. He's like, you got to meet somebody. And that's how he brought me and you together. And then I was like, damn. I was like, this guy is literally making bank trading currency from his goddamn laptop. That's what I want to do. Like, I want that income that's recession-proof. I wanted to do something. Honestly, I've gotten so interested in finance and just like economics. I was like, man, like if I actually like put my willpower to it and learn everything I can, like I can make a living off this. Like I can feed my kids, my great grandkids, and like sell off,
And you really gotta like the whole concept behind it, because it's like something you don't need to have like a complete background check. You don't need to be smart. I know you probably get this question all the time, like, does it require a lot of math? Like, do you need to have a degree? Like, it's just like, no. It's just, being able to pay attention and, and knowing what the basic knowledge that's behind it, right? So, and then from there,
I always tell people that too. Like, I'm not the smartest guy, like in the room, but like, if it comes to like learning something, I'll outwork you and learn it. And I'll just put all my energy and time into learning something. And that's really all it's about. I've noticed like the more and more focus I get with this and like learning the skill of trading, like patience and just focusing on like putting the hours in the charts, like the better I become at it. And so it's just like that. I mean, there are people, I know people way more qualified than me in academics who are making less money than me right now as a bartender.
Of course.
And so they can't believe when I tell them, I'm like, oh yeah, a little bit of day trading experience. And they're like, what? Like, where'd you get that? I'm just like, man, just got interested in it and just put all my mind to it.
All right, so the next question. So like, you work at Wasted Grain, right?
I do.
And how was that life when knowing the fact that when you're looking at your phone and you could be potentially trading and dealing with, that social life at the same time? Like, how was that experience for you?
It is a little bit, how do I put this? It's a little bit crazy just because everybody knows me as like the old town guy. I've been going out for a couple of years. They know me as like the big party guy. And so it definitely made me like take a step back and think like, all right, what's your priority? Like, is it to go out, get drunk and have the clout with all these people? Or am I actually trying to be successful at doing this? Am I actually trying to learn this skill set and become a profitable trader, be the best trader that I can be? And so it has been conflicting at times. So it's a nice little yin and yang balance. And it's definitely worked out in my favor, I've had to tone it down a little bit, had to tell some friends, I ain't going out tonight.
And that's the most hardest part.
It is, telling my girl and her friends, you know what, we ain't going out tonight. I'm staying in, I'm reading, I'm looking at the charts tonight. And they're like, why are you doing that? I'm like, watch, in a year, 2 years, you're going to see all this patience is going to pay off. All these late night studying is going to pay off.
Of course. All right, so we got one question here. How long did it take him to learn it all from me? So
to answer that question, I still haven't. I've been at it for about 4.5 months, and I'm still learning.
You're still learning
every day.
And that's the best part, because like everyone is, that's such like a common question. Like people always come in and they want to feel like, how long is it going to take me to learn? Like everyone has their whole learning curve. Like, you know, if you are putting a good amount of time into it and you're sacrificing a lot, then yeah, you're going to definitely see some reward ending to that. But like everyone is different, you know, everyone, you know, can't comprehend like to look at a chart and, you know, and break it down or give them an analysis, you know, or admit their wrongs when it comes to why am I struggling. So like everyone is different.
Yeah, and I've broken it down to people when I explain it to them. Like it's like going to the gym, you know? Like if you're an out of shape person, you start going to the gym, you may not achieve your dream body in a year, your dream physique in a year, but you're a whole year ahead of where you were and you have that foundation. Yeah. And that's what I'm building upon. Like I don't think I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm content. Like I'm satisfied in the skill set that I've attained yet, but I'm just building on the foundation to keep going further and bigger, you know? Yeah. So I don't know it all to answer that question.
Yeah. So, and that's good. Like, you know, even though like for myself, like I don't like to say like I know it all. Like I know what I've applied, but like I'm still remaining as a student and still keep continuously to learn and still keep trying to give as much value as possible so everyone could excel and become, you know, a very great independent trader, right?
Yeah. That's what the goal is, man. Trying to be a trader, not a signal taker.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so like, all right, the next question is like, all right, so while you're trading, talk about what was like your biggest month or week, or how much you have made trading since this past 4 months.
So since I've started, I've made, I think I just did the math the other day, I made 28.20, I believe. Yeah, $2,820, and my best day would have been last Monday, where I made $800. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. You know, a lot of people can't make that within an hour or even 2 hour time
That's a whole weekend for me working, man. Yeah. Rest of the
and that feeling must have been really
refreshing, it felt good. I woke up, I was on your New York call. I set the trades up. I took like a little power nap for like an hour and a half, woke up. All TP smashed, and I was like, wow, I just made $790. Yeah. And I was sleeping almost half the time. Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely crazy. It's definitely a great roller coaster ride to be on.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, that's really good to hear. All right. So like, what is your feedback for like a new incoming student that wants to be a part of Blue Capital Academy?
The best advice I could give would just to have your mindset focused on like every day is a learning opportunity. You know, I thought I had this game plan before I even joined up. I was like, all right, by month 2, I'll pretty much have it all figured out. I'll be making X amount of dollars, and then just every month it'll be compounding. Then I'll be making $10,000 within like $10,000 a month by the end of the year. You know, and you come to realize you're like, damn, like it actually is not from A to Z like that. You know, you got to go through trials and tribulations, going up, down, and it all is just more of a compounding factor of how much time are you willing to put into it. Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah, because I know for that first month, that first like 60 days, I was studying the charts every day. I was coming here almost every day, and then I had that 3 little week slump where I didn't come in anytime, and Mike was like, where you been at, bro? And I'm like, man, I got a girlfriend. I've been going out a little bit. And I definitely started to see that I was slipping a little bit. You know, I was entering my own little micro trades, and they weren't going the right. I was like, man, like, what am I doing? I'm like, am I just forcing these trades? Like, am I actually like sticking to my trading plan?
And then you just start to feel like, all right, you know, I'm going to just take whatever. Hopefully it goes my way.
Yeah, you're just praying that the market's going to like answer your prayers and go the right way. And the market doesn't care, you know?
We all been there, like, you know? We have all been there, done that. Like, you know, I know I could talk behalf of myself as well. Like, you know, there were times that I struggled and was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just take whatever I can in the market. If it's looking like it's a downtrend, I'm gonna put in my entry there, and then you see it 5 minutes later completely takes off to the opposite direction. So you're like, what? Like, I'm pretty sure I was confident, but then a lot of people really forget to just, you know, reset. You know, reset. Focus on the next move. You know, look for a better trade setup. Like, you know, just be calm. Like, this is not a game. Yeah. You know. You
also don't need to like go from being where you're at right now in your financial situation to like driving a Lambo in 2 months. And that's where I think a lot of people get carried away. Where they're like, oh, well, how much money do I need to put in to like make X amount of dollars? And it's like, well, dude,
because trading is sexy.
It is.
Present it to people and they're like, really? You
that
can do
laptop
this.
lifestyle. Everybody just wants to work from around the world, do whatever. And it's just like, man, it takes time. It takes a lot of effort. And the patience, man. Like, you're not going to go from driving your Corolla to a Lambo in 2 months, man. But a lot of traders, they trade that way. You'll be surprised. Like, a lot of people, they'll have a profitable month or two using proper risk management. And next thing you know, it's drive a 5 standard lot on the US 30 and pray everything goes my way. And next thing you know, you're like, dang, I just blew my whole account in a day.
And there's no issue of like shooting for the stars or, risking high, but it comes to, all right, does it go along with my trading plan?
Exactly.
If it goes completely borderline off it, then no.
If you're already feeling 50-50 on the way a trade's going to go, it might go your way, it might not go away, I'd probably take a step back and rethink it before you put the trade in.
So my next question, like, how do you feel like trading is very important for our generation, especially with everything it's just so digital?
That's a good question. I don't necessarily know if trading is super important, but I do always, especially now, becoming more knowledgeable about economics, finance, and all that. Just being financially aware and being aware of, like, we live on an economic planet, a capitalistic planet. True. Just being aware of how, like, the economy, it just isn't a U.S. thing, just isn't a China thing. It's a whole global economy and cycle. Just being more aware about that, becoming more knowledgeable about that. I think that's more important than everybody needs to trade. Although I would say a lot of people should be trading.
I feel like everyone should, since now everyone is paying attention to, like, looking at CNN, where a lot of people are just focusing, my basketball wives and focusing on all these,
the Kardashians.
Kardashians, they're not giving you any kind of value besides how their lifestyle is improving. But like, now people are paying attention to Donald Trump tweeting and his outrageous posts and saying, like, our economy is good, and then you find out, oh my God, like, everyone is talking about it. So, like, it's really becoming an eye opener for, like, people that are not usually paying attention to the news and such and stuff like that.
Which is normal because, like I said, before I got interested in this, I rarely paid attention to it. I'd just be like, all right, is the economy good or is the economy bad? That's all you got to tell me. Like, anything else, like, I don't want to get confused about it. But now, as I become more aware of how all these different intangible things come together and they form the global economy that we have, man, I love nothing better than learning about this every day.
And it seems like you're very excited. So this kind of goes back 2 steps backwards. But what do you see that you could achieve when it comes to trading? Like, do you see that you could envision this, like, giving it out to value of people that, hey, like, I have a great opportunity and I'm not trying to sell you on it. Do you feel like this could actually help out, like, a lot of people?
That's like my couple-year goal is to, like, get as good as you or as, like, Mike, and like try to bring this value to others and not try to force them like I'm selling this. It's just like, hey, man, like, I was in your position one day and then I just learned this skill set. I stayed patient. I got my emotions under control as a trader and was able to become so profitable that now I want to share value with others. Because that's the thing, too. I was thinking about that, like, you don't want to keep this to yourself, like, you want to share this experience and this skill set with others, because if you're just in it for yourself, well, man, that's kind of
it becomes very boring. And it's just like,
well, it's like you want to be the only winner, like, you don't want to help others succeed. Like, there's so much purpose and pride in helping others achieve their goals and becoming self-sufficient like that too.
That's true. All right, so we have a question here. Do you always catch a trade? So this is a question for you. How do you always catch a trade before it happens instead of waiting for the breakdown entry?
I first off don't catch every trade. There are plenty of trade opportunities that I miss. Just every Sunday, I schedule 2 hours of my Sunday just looking at the charts and seeing where I think price trend is going on the certain type of pairs that I'm looking at, and just setting market alerts on my MetaTrader 4 or another app that I have, and just watching and seeing how the price reacts around those technical zones.
Oh, that's awesome.
But like I said, like, yeah, I've left plenty of money. We were just talking about this earlier. I've left plenty of money on the table.
Yeah.
I did not take that US 30 trade today. If I would,
it was very spicy.
Yeah.
You know?
If
like,
I would have, I would have made probably $12,000 today, and I
Yeah.
didn't take it. So I left that money on the table.
And your girlfriend would have been really
Yeah,
happy. She'd be like, wow, so your goals really excelled that fast.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. But the thing about it though is I don't look at it as like a loss or anything, because I didn't lose any money either, you know. Like I still have my whole account, and I'm still in the game for another day, you know. Like there's gonna be hundreds, if not thousands, of other days that I can execute trades and become profitable. So you don't catch them all.
Yeah, and that's a good thing too. Like myself, like I don't catch them all.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even though like I am an aggressive trader, like there were other moves that I could have gave out or trade ideas that people could actually align to see what I see. So, you know, we're only able to catch what we catch because we are human, you know. So as long as that we're gaining that consistency and building our accounts, that's what our end goal is. So if we're growing our account 5% or even 10% a day, then that's
gonna
amazing.
compound really quick.
It's very, very quick. So, and then more withdrawals.
Man, them withdrawals, man. Paying them bills.
Yeah, and that's the best feeling, you know. Like, you know, you're having your funds work for you, and that's the most beautiful part about it.
Yeah. Got anything else?
All right. I feel like we kind of.
Oh, dude, we only had 16 minutes. Y'all can keep going.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Let's keep going.
Oh.
I guess.
Yeah.
The
Like,
biggest
what's the biggest
L?
Yeah,
Biggest
that's-
L. So this happened.
Yeah. Hold up.
Yeah.
If you guys have questions, shoot up, and then we'll try to get them answered as well too. So we want to keep this motivating. All right.
I got
resume.
you. So my biggest L came, I believe it was June of 2018 last year. So I met Josh. He got me interested in trading and everything. I'd already met you, but I was like, he was more of like helping me out starting out trading last year.
Okay.
And so he got me like introduced to the whole IML like platform, everything that way. So I signed up, put the only $500 I had in my savings in my broker account, and I was trading.
That's how it always starts off, right?
And it was starting good, you know. I was probably up like $200-$300. I was like, man, this is going great.
Yeah.
And with IML, they had this little app, Swipecoin. You know, it's for all their cryptocurrency signals. And I had missed one, you know. I felt like he said long Bitcoin. It went up like $1,000, and I was like, man, I missed that.
Yeah.
And so like I told myself the next time he gives out a signal for Bitcoin, I'm gonna double down because I want to make that bread, you know. So I did. He long Bitcoin up to like $6,000. It was at like 5 something. It didn't go up.
Yeah.
In fact, it went down for 3 straight weeks in a row. And my account of $700 and some dollars went all the way down to $64. And I was like, wow, I just took myself out of this whole game in about 3 days.
Wow.
And so it took that, but I don't look at it as my biggest L, because having learned that lesson taught me like, all right, let me be patient. Let me build up more funds. Come back, and when I come back, I want to have a more clear game plan as to the trader I want to be. You know.
Yeah, you take your losses as lessons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was my biggest L, but it was also one of my biggest dubs, also because I learned such a valuable lesson. You know, no revenge trading.
Yeah.
No getting caught up like, oh, I have to make this money. I have to make this money. Getting your emotions tied into trading, like, doesn't lead for a recipe for success. You know.
Yeah, I completely hear you. All right, so we have this question. What is the most small account that you have ever grew? I know we basically talked on your side.
Yeah.
I think for me was actually, I can remember this as like it was yesterday. So the smallest account that I ever grew was $29.55. And I grew that to $1,000 in a week. The way how my mindset was, it was like, all right, I've never gotten this low. Okay, so like it was a challenge, and I gladly accepted. I was like, yeah, you know, I was giving myself a lot of self-talk.
Okay.
You know, grew it up to at least up to $100. Once I grew up to $100, I turned that $100 into $500, and I turned that $500 to $800, and then I was like, all right, that was my cutoff. I was like, I wanted to see if I could grow it to 1,000, and then just withdraw 500, and then keep the process keep going. So that's like a lot of problems with a lot of people is when they try to grow like smaller accounts, they forget to, all right, you know, stick to your plan. And then once you get up to that bigger amount, make sure you withdraw, because it's no fun of growing a small account and then getting it to a bigger portion, and then you lose all of it, and it's just like, you know, it becomes like back to the drawing board.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely agree with that. To answer that question, I had a $500 account, blew that. Then I started this second go around a couple months ago. I started with $1,000, and right now I'm sitting at like 4,400, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad.
You know.
I haven't made any withdrawals yet, just because I have that goal of trying to get my account to $10,000.
Yeah.
And that being like the baseline level, and then everything after that, I'm gonna start withdrawing. Like, basically going month by month.
Yeah.
You know, if I make $3,000, I'll take that $3,000
Yeah.
out and keep the $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's smart. You know, at least you have a solid game
Yeah.
plan to follow up on.
Oh
so.
yeah.
All right. So our next question. How do you help your friends stay focused? That must be a very challenging question, just due to, you know, your social life. And people probably come up to you like, "Oh yeah, how's that trading life?" Like,
all the time, all the time. People are like, "Oh, you making bands yet, man?" You're like, "When's the Benz coming along?" I'm like, "Hey, you know, I'm taking it day by day." It's funny when you like, because there are so many people on Instagram who look like they're winning as traders, that there's this expectation of like the lifestyle you're supposed to live when you start saying you're a day trader or anything. Yeah. When it's not anything like that at all. You know, first off, how you spend your money and what you do with your profits is that's all to you anyway.
You know, like,
and you don't.
Yeah, it's just like. It's like, you know, asking, you know, someone, you know, what is in your bank account?
Exactly.
Like, or what is in your trading account? Do you made any withdrawals? Like, that's me asking like a whole personal question that is not going into your bank account.
Yeah.
So whatever that I'm doing and whatever I'm doing with my money is none of your business. Like, you know, but if the way how you kind of like portray and, you know, show or, you know, like present it, you know, if you're presenting it the wrong way, yeah, you're going to have those kind of questions. But like if you're presenting it the right way, the correct way, you know, you're going to have people that's asking questions and how could I get involved?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you focus in changing your whole approach about it, people are like, wow, like, you know, if someone is asking me like, oh yeah, how's that trading life? I'm like, look, I take this very professionally. Like this is like a skill set that's going to change my life.
Yeah, this is like a second job to me, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
But to answer that question about how do you keep your friends focused? Yeah. I really don't think you can force other people to be focused. Either they're 100% in or they're not in at all, you know? You know, some of my best friends, they've been talking for 2 years about starting this company or that company, starting this side hustle or that side hustle. And I'll bring it up like maybe every couple months, like, oh, how's that going? You know, like, have you made any progress?
Yeah, you follow up.
Never like condescending, but just like, oh, like, have you actually like started or anything, you know? Yeah. And most of them, I would say 95% of them are still in the same position they probably were when they made those comments.
It's a lack of taking action.
Yeah, lack of focus. You really can't. You know, you think anyone had to force Kobe Bryant to go to the gym to shoot 1,000 jump shots? No one. No one. You think Tom Brady? You think anyone's got to force Tom Brady to get up to go to practice every day? Like either you're in it or you're not, man. Yeah. And so I really wouldn't worry about trying to force your friends to be focused. I would just more concentrate on how you can make yourself more focused and how you can use your energy more wisely and time more wisely to keep yourself focused as efficient as possible. Yeah. And then maybe it might be time to even switch up your friend group, man. Yeah. They always say you're the average of your 5 closest friends. Yeah. And if you aren't surrounding yourself with friends who are winners, you probably aren't going to be a winner,
and
man.
Also, that's great saying that really stuck with me too. If you're the smartest person in your group, then you're in the wrong group. Exactly. So I always, you know, even when I started my whole company and I knew, you know, when everything started going down to shit, you know, I just had the wrong people in my circle, right? Yeah. So like, and that was a whole lesson for me. So like, you know, now I have a right team, I have a solid team, you know, communication is very up to par. So when you change your whole focus and the whole group of people that's around you, you're going to elevate in so much higher than, you know, that current group of friends that, you know, saw or lacked the vision of it.
I was almost thinking about saying that. I would even try to like encourage your friends to be more focused. I would just try to find friends who are so focused it makes you upgrade your focus game.
So it motivates you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like kind of like a ladder, you know?
Every day coming in here, we're like when I'm talking to you or Mike or other people that we have within our trading community, I'm like, man, Damone's always posting, technical analysis and posting up his charts, and so is Mike D. I'm like, man, these guys are killing it. I gotta step my game up. I gotta get with them, So just surround yourself with people who are so focused. It also makes you focused. Yeah.
Most definitely. All right. So our next question is, what do you tell someone that needs to work on their emotions, psychology, and how did you get past that?
Is that for me or is that for you?
No, that's for you.
That's for me?
We can answer both of it.
Yeah. So my emotional control, I like to call it, or just self-awareness goes down to, man, when I was in middle school and high school, I did not have a lot of it, man. I had a very bad temper. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I got into a lot of fights, man.
Yeah.
I think 8th grade year, I got into 8 or 9 fights or something.
Oh,
just
damn.
scraps in the schoolyard, yeah. And so I remember I got in one fight. I had been in so many fights in high school, and I was like a first semester sophomore. And the principal sat me and my dad down. She's like, if you get in one more fight, I'm gonna have to expel you. And my dad was a hard head, a hard ass dad. And he was like, man, if you get expelled from school, I am beating your ass. So I had to go to anger management classes, and they were just giving me techniques about how to relay my emotions, relay my anger and everything. So it started by writing down my emotions in a journal.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I wouldn't say I suppressed the anger, but I just found better habits and techniques to get it out. So I started meditating every day for 10 minutes a day, reading, self-affirmations, looking yourself in the mirror and just pumping yourself up, making yourself feel good.
Yeah, because you got to be your own hype man.
Exactly. You got to be your biggest cheerleader, And so just doing little positive habits and daily routines like that, it just keeps you in this constant mindset of positivity. And then with that tying into trading, you almost have to take the emotion out of trading. It all comes down to the trading plan. If you execute a trading plan your correct way, it's hitting all your confirmations, whether you win or lose, you shouldn't really be angry or happy. It just followed your plan. And just followed your plan, and just take your emotions out of it. It's just like playing chess, Yeah. I don't have emotions tied to if I win or lose money anymore. Yeah, it's great to win money. You know?
But that's the most biggest challenge. Yeah. Because even though even in our members chat, people oh damn, is this confirmation still going for a sell, or oh damn, I blew my account. You would never see me, type in the chat and be like, damn, I lost almost 58K.
Yeah.
But if I do say that, I'm gonna put a smile face behind it, because a lot of people's reaction would take it very differently, and it kind of takes the pressure off them of how much they lost, and be like, wow, if he's smiling and he's being humble about this, I could definitely do that too. So and I just saying a whole example by it, that's how you could just take the emotion out. It's part of, you just gotta tell yourself it's just always a part of the process.
There's always gonna be other days to trade. Man. Yeah, it ain't going anywhere.
All right, so next question. How do you? I think we actually talk about this. Oh, okay. No, this is actually a new question. How do you focus versus power naps? Tried it for a month and almost died. Just kidding, but for real.
I really do not do the nap thing at all, man.
Yeah, I could probably answer this question because I get this question a lot.
I asked you my first day. I was like, when do you sleep, man?
Yeah, most of you guys know, I do bodybuild. I'm always in a gym, and for me, I don't know. It was just really pure energy. I lived for it. I was so excited. I'll be on the charts. I could be bumping anything, and I eliminated all of the distractions. So never once took coffee, getting energy drinks. Even when I was tired, I was like, look, no, this is my passion. Yeah. My passion was basically speaking for me and acting within my own body, and just I'm getting this done.
Yeah.
And then if we had a really great morning, and sometimes it'd be from from London session to like New York session, everyone's in profit. I'm like, look, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then it gets hard to sleep after.
Because you
like,
have
feel
that you have that
excitement.
rush, especially between
Yeah.
like the different sessions. Like if say you go from the New York session, you have a great morning, profitable trades. That rush keeps you growing. You
Yeah.
could be up from 6 in, you'll be up till 2 the next day because that rush will just propel you into momentum for the whole day. You'll be like, oh, I can't get enough of this. Yeah.
And then there are times like like I'll just sleep for an hour, but of course people are throwing in notifications, so like I'm basically knocking out, sending a message, then I'll knock out again, and then answer messages, and then realize like that whole day is already half of the day already. So it's just like, all right, now I gotta eat and go hit the gym and do it all over again. So, but really, there really isn't no answer for that question. It's just true passion. If you really love, when it comes to trading, you find rest when you find rest.
Maybe drink a green tea or a lot of Red Bulls, whatever you got to do for it.
Okay, our next question. Have you ever used MyFX book on account growth to keep track? If not, why not? Yeah, I do. I only keep track for my personal use. Like I'm not trying to show the world that I'm the best trader. So it's just challenging myself, like what I did from last week to this week, and what are my upcoming goals for it. And then let's see.
You're talking about like journaling the profits. Online.
Yeah, journaling profits,
Yeah, like
just documenting everything.
Yeah, I feel that. I got my own little trade journal. It's all private. Yeah.
I think our next question is, how much do you weight understanding microeconomics into your trading rather than just technical analysis? That's a good question.
I mean, they definitely do play a part.
Yeah.
As we were just talking about earlier, as we see a lot of economies around the globe right now are slowing down.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting into that anxiety period where like, oh, is a recession coming on?
Yeah.
And so it does, because when people get uncertain, people start hoarding onto their cash or investing into safe havens.
So it's basically seeing who's going to bend over pressure first.
Exactly.
So, and then if you're following your technical analysis, if you're seeing if it's within that downtrend and we're having all these economic issues, right? You follow the trend,
exactly.
Like if it's completely a downtrend,
that's just another confirmation for you that it's going to keep going that way.
So I hope that answers your question, Tyler. Let's see. I think we have this last one here. And we could basically answer this question. What's the best pair to swing trade long term? What is like your favorite pair?
My favorite pair?
Yeah.
It's gold.
Gold?
Yeah, Mike knows that. Every time I'm on his Zoom calls, I'm like, bro, let's talk about gold.
Gold? Yeah, gold is real smooth. Like,
I like gold. I like oil a lot too. I like the commodities.
Yeah.
I don't really do silver. I really like GJ a lot just because of the volatility, the movements. I don't like GChef. I don't know how Mike stands it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big swing trader myself, and I don't like the slow volatility that it has. It's just it moves when it want to move.
Exactly.
So
like it took what, a whole month for it to like make his whole move that he predicted. And I'm like, man, I just ain't got time for that. I mean, if I had
we got those bills coming.
exactly. Got rent due. If I had the account size and the patience that I should have had yesterday, it might even be the NAS 100 or the US 30. But we're still working there. We're still piecing it away.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think we're gonna wrap up this last question here. How do you handle a negative day?
Just taking a step back, just taking it all in, just assessing what went wrong. It's not a bad day if your trading plan was solid and it just happened to make a correction in the wrong way, then really it wasn't a bad day. You just missed the correction and you can still get back in it. Now, if we're talking about a day where we lose a lot of money, I mean, it's the same as losing like the state championship basketball game, man. It hurts. You're probably going to feel sad for a couple days, maybe even a week, but just to know to keep, like we were saying, hyping yourself up that there's going to be more days to trade. It's a learning experience. I always live by the phrase, I never lose. I either win or I learn, you know? Like, all my L's are learning experiences. And so just having a bad day, just know it's probably a learning experience. It's got to make you better in the future anyway. It makes it that much better. It makes it that much easier to overcome. Yeah.
I know. I think I probably talked about this on our last episode. Honestly, when I have a negative day, I smile and I just bump Drake.
Yeah, I feel
like,
it.
you know, I keep it very simple. Like, I just bump Drake. You know, I'll have the door probably open, but you know, I just bump Drake. You know, I'm like, I'm grateful for all the little things that are in life. You know.
Yeah, that's a huge one right there. I just think about like taking a step back and thinking about like how blessed I am with like my family, my health, the position I am in, just to even be trading. Like I'm like, I can take an L for a day, you know? Yeah.
And you just gotta love it. Yeah. You know, like I smile. Yeah. Like I think, the most I've lost. Are we here? All right.
Yeah. I think it might. Is it a phone or is it actually a cricket?
Probably might be a cricket.
Damn.
All right, that's just got socially awkward. Yeah. But So I guess that's what we're gonna do. Care package on a negative day. Hey.
Oh man.
That's the vibes, man. That is the vibes.
Nah, I bumped that scorpion.
Oh man. But yeah, so you know, great interview with you. You know, I appreciate you. Like, you know, you're always on top of it.
It's a pleasure.
You know, being, you know, one of our active students here and, you know, providing your insights really, really means a lot just to like our public eye. And yeah, we just want to keep expanding, keep growing this and make this fun as possible.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, we don't want to make it seem like we're selling anyone on anything. Just skill set that everyone can run with and make their dreams happen. So
and they do come true, man.
Yeah.
You just gotta be patient. You gotta want the marathon, not the sprint.
Yep, that's right. So I appreciate you for hopping on. And I think that should end up a wrap for episode 7. So stay tuned for episode 8.